Hi, I am Molly Ann Bishop. I am a ceramicist, illustrator. I live in Chicago. I'm an artist. I don't know what I am. I'm a YouTuber sometimes, and this is my first sketchbook tour video. So I've been wanting to do a sketchbook tour for a long time. I've seen a lot of artists on YouTube do sketchbook tours, and that really speaks to me, and I love looking at other people's sketchbooks. I have kept a sketchbook for the last 15 years. I started keeping one when I was an undergrad, so probably at 20-ish, and I'm 36 now. And I love keeping a sketchbook. The one we're gonna look at together is June 2022 to November 2022. I picked that one because I wanted some fall material. So I'm gonna go through my sketchbook with you guys and show you everything and talk through it. And if you like this kind of video, let me know because I'd like to do more of these. I wanted to do this video because I thought it would be good, maybe like a push for you to start your own sketchbook practice. Sketchbooking is such an important part of how I come up with ideas and how I just feel in general good about my art making. I love sketchbooks because you can try things out, and I'll show you in the video, but for example, here is I'm using a medium that I don't normally use. It's good practice. You can sort of see, if I look at my old sketchbooks, I can see how I started drawing figures and how they've changed and gotten better just through using a sketchbook. It's a great record keeper. I love it when I can see what I was interested in at the time, or just sort of keep a record of what I did that day, which is a great reason to keep a sketchbook. This drawing of me and my friends at the Magic Hedge takes me right back to that day, and I remember it better because I have this record of it. And then finally, I think sketchbooks are really good as a source material for working in other media. So I bring my sketchbooks to the studio, and when I'm sitting down to scratch a mug or make a ceramic piece or come up with a print idea or a t-shirt idea, I scroll through my sketchbook and see what I've been drawing lately and what I'm interested in. So there's really no reason not to keep a sketchbook other than I think some people are really scared, but the other thing that's nice about a sketchbook is it's private. You don't have to show anybody. I always talk about this when I teach classes, and then I show everybody my sketchbook, and I'm saying this to you as I put my sketchbook on YouTube, but you definitely don't have to share it with people. And just remember that the work that you make can be completely private and personal. It can almost be like a journal. So I really hope this video inspires you to try starting a sketchbook practice. And like I said, let me know if you want to see more things like this. I'm getting better at shooting overhead, but I'm not perfect. So if you have specific tips for that, that's great. Just, be patient with me. I'm still learning a lot of this stuff. And yeah, I think that's it. So enjoy this tour of June 2022 to November 2022 in my sketchbook. This is June 2022 to November 2022. I haven't looked at this sketchbook in a while. I've watched sketchbook tours before. Alexa does some really good ones. She's so critical. First time I watched, she was so critical of her own sketchbooks, and they're beautiful. And I was like, God, I can't believe that she feels that way. And then I started to do a sketchbook tour, and I was being really critical of myself. So I'm gonna say, as we start this out, I wanna set an example. I'm really gonna try not to be critical of myself because it just doesn't seem productive. And I don't like it when I see other people be super critical of their drawings. So I'm looking at this and remembering that I took this workshop with Yumi Sakugawa. It's called Discipline is Pleasure. It's all about creating rituals for your creative practice. And so I kind of did this brainstorm, visual brainstorm of what I wanted my daily creative rituals to be. One of them was I want to draw and brainstorm for 2 hours after the gym at a coffee shop. I really wish that I did this. I used to do this more. I've never been in a place in my life where I can do it every day. It's 2 hours is a lot of time to just kind of draw and brainstorm. But whenever I'm feeling my most creative or most happy, I swear to God, I am doing this. So this is something I really need to prioritize more. And Yumi does that as well. Meditate first thing, do morning pages. And I think this is from the workshop. Clearing brain channels so creative work can happen. So these are the 3 ways that I think that I could clear my brain channels so creative work can happen. In January, when things are a little bit slower for me, work-wise, it could be fun to do like a challenge, like a January challenge of doing these things like every day, and seeing, like maybe recording like a before and after how I feel. This is when Eric and I think this is right after we got married. So I was thinking a lot about living in the moment. I was working on a newsletter about living in the moment. So I kind of was just doing a brainstorm of like this honeymoon. We took like a mini honeymoon in Kentucky, and these are all the ways I felt in the moment. Okay, so reading at night in bed during the thunderstorm. And then this is me drawing that. It's kind of like a thunderstorm. Driving on a country road, listening to Big Audio Dynamite. That's that drawing. I mean, God, I can go over all this stuff, but it's so stupid. Or it's not stupid. I told myself I wasn't going to be critical. Also with these, I think what I was doing is I tried to choose this color palette and apply it. And let's see, yeah, I have that same color palette here. That was a drawing of me on the trip drawing. But this might be like, I take some notes during the trip to make comics about later. And I just really like how this image came out. This is a nice one. It's really satisfying to see these like full pages in a sketchbook. But I also think like there are times where I feel a lot of pressure to have every page in my sketchbook be a scene or be like a fully fledged page. And then like, it's also important to like sketchbook like this, or I'm sure there's going to be like a lot more messier pages, like this kind of thing, where like I was trying to figure out, like I really wanted my pose to be like a specific way on this tree. So I kind of like planned it out. I don't know, I just really like this, but these are also personal. So like they don't really translate well to like ceramics or any commerce, but that's okay. It'd be cool to put them in a book, and I have done that before, but that also doesn't sell. This is me drawing people reading. I draw people reading a lot, and so like it's fun to do little studies sometimes if I don't know what to draw. This is another, like one of these spot illustrations that's similar to these of like living in the moment. That's Eric grilling. This is a plan of a vase that I made my friends, Kevin and Holly, and I love making customs for friends. I don't like making customs for money, because it is like sometimes really painful. And I don't want to get into it, but I can talk about that for a different video if you care. They're just like very emotionally intense to like do somebody else's custom. But when they feel like gifts, and I get to do like whatever I want, I love it. I don't really know what this is. And then this is a comic of, I don't think I finished this, or I might have done it on watercolor paper, because it's definitely not finished the way that I normally would finish something. And then I've made like a lot of mugs with this idea, and they don't really do so well, but I really like this idea of like the switch from like, I'm in the moment, now I'm not in the moment, I'm in the moment, now I'm not in the moment. And it's like, I like this like self-critical kind of thing. It's sort of funny to me. And I would like to figure out a better way to convey this on a mug or ceramics or bigger piece that like makes sense, because I feel like people aren't getting it, which happens a lot. And I notice this when I look at my mom's work too, because my mom drew a lot and I have all of her sketchbooks, and sometimes I'm like, I don't understand what she meant by this. Like she got a word wrong, or she jumped from point A to point C without leading the reader to point B. And I think I do that a lot because I'm just in my own head so much that like I'm not communicating like my ideas better. Like, I think that's one of the reasons I like to watch comedy, is like, it's interesting to see like how people communicate funny ideas, and like how much of a punchline do you have to spell out for somebody? How much of an experience is like completely personal? How much is universal? Okay, so this is getting into fall. This is probably like in August when I'm starting to draw these things, and I'm starting to think about fall. I always have trouble with this change because it's a hard time of year for me. I've talked about that in other videos. I get sad about like drawing people in like pants and stuff. Well, she's clearly in shorts, but like I was trying to convey like just a big fall flower. And I think I used a brush pen for this, which I don't normally do. So this was kind of just like a play and like just a black and white ink drawing. I sketched it out first. I never erased it. Playing more with this brush pen. That's another great thing about a sketchbook is you can experiment with different like materials, and that's what a sketchbook should be. It doesn't have to be like if I wanted every page to look like this, I wouldn't experiment more. So it's good to have like messy pages in your sketchbook, I think. August 8th, 2022. August, unfortunately, the cucumbers are cucumbering. Toad has a cone. Probably got fixed. Just a drawing of a walk. Yeah, you can tell like I'm just sad that summer's ending. Okay, I just doodled this and then I posted it on Instagram randomly, and it got like a lot of positive response, so I turned it into a sticker. And it's a really good selling sticker. It's a good wholesale item. And it's really funny. Like, I love this image of a girl. It's like me like holding all my different water bottles, because I do have a lot of water bottles and I don't need to be made fun of for that. Anyway, so I want to do another puzzle. Clearly I've been wanting, it's 2024, it's 2 years later, I still haven't done another puzzle, and I really want to do one. And I want to do this one, and it's this idea I've had for a long time. And it says here, at a party, and the quote says, "I'm looking for a real connection," which I think is really funny. Like a really funny idea of like going to a party and like looking for a real connection, because like I don't know if it exists at parties all the time. I did a mug with this sort of similar scene, and it said party anxiety, and I think that's kind of funnier, or just like I think that spells it out for people more. Like I was talking earlier about like how am I communicating and conveying all of this. Okay, this has been a seed that has really continued to grow, and that's thinking about my job in buckets. And this I sort of was just doodling and like doodle journaling, I guess. And so now I guess these are really the buckets, like comic/book, product development, drawing for pleasure/growth, ceramics, marketing, admin. From this, I've created this sort of system in my life or in my job, not my life, where I feel like my job has 4 main buckets, and that's, I bucket them in operations, marketing, customer service, and product development. So these are the buckets that I create for my job. Each one has a color, and I use them in Notion a lot to sort of divvy up tasks and see like that all 4 things are getting equal attention. And it's always a balancing act, and all 4 things are not getting equal attention right now. It's kind of funny to see this illustration from 2 years prior. I always sew a lot in the fall, so I was probably just sewing a lot and then like sitting down and being like, what should I draw? And I'll draw myself sewing. This is like my office at home and the area where I sew. Didn't really finish either of these, but okay. Drinking on the phone with Jessie. This is my friend Jessie, who used to live in Wisconsin, and we would sometimes like have a happy hour drink together over the phone. And then I fleshed out the illustration a little bit more here. It's like I was going to draw me drinking my happy hour drink over here, and then her drinking her happy hour drink here. And she had this really beautiful garden in Wisconsin, and she had this like pondering frog sculpture, and she got me its like twin. I put this illustration in my comic book, Molly's World Volume 1. I really like this illustration. I made it for a newsletter, but I like really went all in on it. And this is like a version of the mall I went to growing up, Tyson's One, shout out if you know. Like this is supposed to be like Madewell, and I called it jeans that actually look good, because like I think that Madewell jeans are pretty flattering on my body. And then I always love mall candy shops. And then I just like included little people. This is my mom. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. This is my mom. I drew her eating a pretzel like an Auntie Anne's. That's so cute. And then these people are like having like a little romantic moment. I don't know. Okay, Princess Diana. These are all like me playing around with Tombow markers, which aren't my favorite to draw with, but they do the deed. I think what I did was I did some shading with like a watercolor brush, and then colored in with the Tombows. And I feel like the Tombows, they're actually like, the fill is kind of nice. I just don't like this all together. I said I wasn't gonna be critical. I think I was trying to tie it all together with these words, but it's really doodly and it's fine. And I use these images a lot on mugs. I don't really like her wedding dress, so. Oh, and this is a really good outfit she had on at the Taj Mahal. I am a sucker for like bright crimson red and lavender. I've been really into that lately. Well, actually for the past 2 years, so. This is a little comic that I think I posted on Instagram. Eric says, "Are you crying? Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I just finished the Princess Di doc. It's just such a sad story. I miss her and those poor boys, her sons, left without a mother." Oh yeah, her sons, the princes. What are their names? Snaketooth and Wolfmouth? And then I get mad. I say, "Eric, it's Harry and William. And now they're stuck with their dad, Charles." And Charles, talk about withholding. I can't believe I just like narrated that comic for you, but I really like this comic actually, looking back at it. It's fun. Her dining room has a green wall, and I like that I like sort of included it, but it's like, it's not that accurate. And I kind of, this is a really nice like style of comic drawing for me, where it's like, we have orange chairs, it's semi-accurate, but like I don't care about getting all the details. And the patterns just look really nice together. Like this like white blank space of the counter with the gray marble, and then like this black and white dotted top. I think the patterns are really good with the colors, like a restrained color palette. Restrained color palette is like always the answer, and I just need to remember that. Speaking of restrained color palette, same sort of color palette. I got really into this. I think there's a lot of illustrations with this color palette in here. I really like a forest green with a peachy pink with a core, like a bright orange and a chartreusey green. I just think that looks so good together. I just like this. I've written this before in my sketchbooks and have drawn this many times. Girls getting haircuts to try to feel better. It's just a classic thing that women do. And I think it's funny. Like, and I do it too. And it's not wrong. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just like something we do to try to like gain control over our looks. And like, I just personally like feel so bad about my looks all the time that like getting a haircut is such a like weird space for me, because it's like I'm trying to feel better, but sometimes it just doesn't work, and it can't. Like one time I went to the hairstylist. I want to make a comic about this actually, and they're like, "Well, what do you want me to do?" And I was like, "Can you literally just change everything about me?" I think that's like a funny. Don't steal that. Okay, here's the same color palette, and this drawing became a mug. It says, "Oh my God, what if I'm an incredible artist and my job is to approach every day as a chance to realize my full creative potential?" I just think that's funny. Like this like epiphany where it's like, oh, everything's fine actually, and I should just chill out. Here is the same color palette, feeling good in the studio for once. I like this for once tag. Like I've been using that a lot. Like, oh, like I'm like relaxing for once. Like, oh, I'm reading a book for once in my life. I don't know. And I like these colors. And I like this image of me. I have like kind of like blushy cheeks. It's cute. In this house, we love seagulls. I turned that into a watercolor that I think is really funny. Morning pages. I think I drew this without a pencil first. Or maybe not. I don't know. But this dog looks really funny and weird. Oh, these turned out kind of cool. I don't know how that happened. I don't usually draw like that, but I did like a blue line with this like graphite-y backfill of stretching. I love drawing women stretching. I've drawn it for a long time. It's one of my favorite things to draw. Another like girl reading in a chair comes up a lot. This is a comic that like I just kind of doodled out, but basically it's like me and Eric. That's a funny image. Okay, so I was cooking chicken thighs and we pulled them off and we're like, wait, those aren't cooked all the way. And then Eric's like, just throw them back on the grill. So then we did, and then the grill caught on fire because we like had not cleaned it in a long time. Clean your grill, seriously. It's really dangerous to not clean your grill. And so then it caught on fire, and then we figured it out, but I had already called 911. And so it's like, Eric like didn't want to talk to the firefighters. He's like, can you go talk to them? But like, I didn't have a bra on, and like the whole street knew that we called the cops or the firefighters. Like, it was just so embarrassing. So I just went out there and like was like, oh, we didn't clean our grill. I'm so sorry. Like, we learned our lesson. And like, I'm so sorry to like have wasted your time. I'm glad we called the fire department because we're lucky it died down. Grease fires are no joke. And seriously, clean your grills. Now I'm like obsessive about cleaning the grill. You learn the hard way, I guess. This is me drawing Shania Twain. I was like really having fun drawing celebrities. I love Erin Brockovich, so then I drew Julia Roberts as Erin Brockovich, and then I drew her in Mystic Pizza. Then I drew her in Notting Hill. I don't really like Notting Hill that much, but I really like Mystic Pizza and I really like Erin Brockovich. This was me trying to draw a scene, like a night scene where like you draw it and then you do like a color wash to make it look dark, but like have the light from the lamp coming out, which like, I don't know how to draw light at all, clearly, but it's something I want to play with a little bit. It could be fun to kind of play with glaze too. That's something to think about, like put a little, anyway. Okay. Oh, I love this page so much. I don't know why, I just like I think I have, yeah, I tried to recreate it. I really like the way I'm sitting in this chair, this illustration of like the way I'm sitting and where Pete's like looking, or is asleep. And it's a katydid that you can't really tell, and it says, hey, one of your little dogs ripped my brother's back leg off. Eric and I went back to Red River Gorge, I think in September, and then this is like an illustration of that because one of the dogs did rip a katydid's leg off, and then I was like imagining how funny it would be if like his like brother came and held us accountable. But I also just really like the fire scene. Like I like the glow on me and Eric. Like I said, I'm not good at like shadows or light. So this like kind of turned out well for me and I was really happy about it. And I've made mugs and plates with this image. These are naked ladies that I drew with this pen, this like scratchy pen I have that I like, just experimenting. It's so fun to experiment in a sketchbook. Lighting a cozy fall candle. I really like this illustration. So now we're in like the fall arena for sure. And yeah, I think I should finish this maybe and then like try to do a glow thing like the other ones have. But I like this like black background with these cool leaf shapes. And they definitely like feel autumnal, these leaves. Oh, this is the Magic Hedge. Eric and I went with our friends Tess and Matt. This was a really fun day. This is a different color palette that I really like. It's more fall-y than like this like green heavy color palette that I was doing for a while. But I try to use this sometimes too, like purple, orange, pink, peach, and brown. I love it. So pretty together and like kind of autumnal in like a unique way. And then yeah, you could tell I was like, it's very fall-y because there's like a little oaks painting on the wall. And it's the idea of like having a chest filled with blankets seems so fun to get cozy. I love blankets, I make quilts and I love like hoarding quilts and blankets and like, it'd be so fun to have, I said, man, I wish I had a chest like this. It'd be so fun to have like an armoire just like filled with like blankets. Okay, here's more girls getting haircuts to feel better. I like these illustrations, like I like the way they're like together and they're taped off. So they have like really sharp lines, which looks really nice. Same, more taped off, mixing a cocktail and Negroni, and then these are like the ingredients for Negroni. This whole image turned into a couple of mugs, like different cocktail mugs. And this was from Still Here, Still Life. They used to like post these cool photos and then people would draw the still life photos that they had posted each week. But I borrowed this still life. It was like a flower arrangement in some sort of melon, kind of bizarre. And doesn't really fit with the Negroni theme, but whatever. Okay, this is the tape that I use to get these sharp edges. I don't use it a lot because it's not great on this paper. It's great for watercolor paper, but this is the best tape I've found in general, and I get it off of jet pins. Hey, Molly here, popping in with a brief interruption. I'm editing this video and realizing that the tape is actually from St. Louis Art Supply. It's the brand Nichibon. It's cheap, it's great, you should get it. If you're using like a nicer watercolor paper like Arches, it peels off really, really, really nice. Oh, I like these beer steins, they were really fun. It'd be kind of fun to make one of these. It'd be hard, I don't know. This is another comic I started and finished and put on my Patreon. This was right when I started a Patreon. that I would like to start over again. This was an illustration for my newsletter. I don't know, it's just like a bunch of random stuff I saw on a walk. Yeah, I don't really like this illustration, but I wasn't gonna be critical, but I don't really like it, sorry. Oh, I like this style. I should try more of this, like the pencil-y, like really hard scribbled lines is really cute. This is me planning out another comic. And then, yeah, just playing around with colored pencil and not having outlines except like in different areas, which is hard for me. I'm really into like thicker, thin outlines, like dark brown or black outlines and coloring it with watercolor. So this is like a good practice, but I think there's like a lot of potential there. And then like, I really like this where it's just the outline and not colored in, like combining showing the paper through with the intensity of the pencil work. And then this plant, like there's potential there. I think that's kind of fun. Cool, colored pencils are great. I need to use them more. Work and leisure, kind of just a doodle. I think about this a lot in my work. Cute house across the street. This is after I saw one of my favorite comedians. It's a terrible illustration of him. His name's Pat Regan. More colored pencils. I really like these. These are like sort of variations on Demeter. And I love this color palette of like this green with a like orangey red, almost like a cad red, and then like a ochre yellow, but then this like phthalo, like this like kind of unnatural green, and then a sky blue, and then obviously brown too, but I think this is a really fun fall color palette. But then what works for me too is like the sparseness of the line and having the paper show through. More of me playing with that style. There's a lot of potential there. It's really nice to look back at these. Huh, who knew? More Demeter, me thinking about like expressions of fall with like a sickle and wheat, and then back to pen work, which I will always come back with, or come back to. I feel like a zombie. I'm so stressed, there's so much to do. Oh my God, I forgot how to draw. Me getting ready for something. Eric saying this house is haunted. This was a dinner party we had with our friends Ashley and John. I really like this comic. She was cold. My friend Ashley was cold, and so I got her a sweater. And I really love lending my friends sweaters or like clothes. It makes me feel like really connected to them. And I love wearing Eric's clothes. Like I think that's one of my favorite like signs of intimacy. Like I'm not a huge hugger, but I love like clothes. I love sharing clothes. So this is a comic I finished. This is also in my comic book. You should buy my comic book, it's cute. This is Toad. It's kind of funny. And then that's it. That's everything. That is June 22 to November 22. So what did you think? Let me know in the comments. I hope you liked the video. It was really fun to make it. A little bit embarrassing at times, but yeah, I just asked ChatGPT, like I sent them a picture of me or him or her or it and asked for makeup recommendations, which was quite humbling. And ChatGPT reminded me that I should trim my bangs more frequently, which I know. If you have any YouTube video recommendations of how to do that yourself, because I am driving my hairstylist crazy. I can't go every like 2 weeks the way that I would like to. ChatGPT told me I should get the Smashbox primer. So I'm gonna try that. I've tried that before, I like it. And it told me to get eyeliner to like bring out my eyes. So I'm gonna try that. And nobody ever taught me how to do makeup. Did anyone ever teach you how to do makeup? Like, did your mom or sister teach you how to do that? Joe's been out of town for 2 weeks, so maybe that's why I'm like talking to a robot, but he gets back tonight, so hopefully I'll have people to talk to as I talk to a camera. It was just so funny. Okay. Also, I'm like talking quietly because I don't know who can hear me, and I'm like, God, this is so funny. Whatever. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and like I said, please comment. Please comment. Oh my God. Sorry. Let me let me film that again. Okay. Okay, thank you for watching my video. Please leave a comment and let me know what you thought and what other sketchbook related things you want to see. We could go time travel back to 2012 and look at a sketchbook from then, which would be humiliating, but maybe I would do it, although it's going to live on the internet forever, which is something I thought about when I made this video because sketchbooks are so personal. But have a good day, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Okay. Oh, you'll have Halloween, so have a good Halloween. Let me know what you dressed up as in the comments. I'm gonna go as Molly from American Girl Dolls, and I'm gonna braid my hair and wear my glasses, and I got this sweater vest. I'll show you a picture when it's all done. Okay, so have a good Halloween. I don't really like Halloween, but I'm trying this year. And let me know what you're gonna be for Halloween, and also, yeah, just like and comment, please, and subscribe. Okay, bye.